live from the Okanagan campus of UBC. This is UBC's live coverage of their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, as they continue their 2016 Canadian tour. And there they have gotten out of the vehicle.
The Dutch.
Of course. Wasting no time getting out of the vehicle to meet the formal greeting party. I'm Rosemary Jean Thompson, your host for today's broadcast, and with me is my co-host, UBC Professor Robert Eggleston, Dean of the Faculty of Creative and Critical Studies here at UBC's Okanagan campus. Welcome, Robert, and thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you, Rosemary. It's a pleasure to join you and our viewers as we welcome the Duke and Duchess to the Okanagan. This marks the royal family's first visit to our university as they commemorate with UBC its centennial and the 10th anniversary of the Okanagan campus.
Well, as you can see, the media is busy rustling around their highnesses, and everybody seems to be quite excited, trying to get their special view that they need to capture either on camera. And they are being formally greeted at this moment by UBC's President and Vice Chancellor is in the mix there. Can't actually see who they're talking to, but that's Dr. Santa Ono. Oh, and they're moving their way down. They're being joined by UBC Deputy Vice Chancellor and Principal, Okanagan Campus, Dr. Deborah Buzzard. And there we see the Honorable Christy Clark, of course, the Premier of British Columbia.
And the Vice Chancellor, or rather the Chancellor of UBC, Mr. Lindsay Gordon, as well, speaking with the Duke right at this point.
Now in that greeting crowd, we also have the Okanagan Nation Alliance Chairman, Grand Chief Stuart Phillips, who's also escorting them.
UBC Board Chair Mr. Stuart Belkin is amongst the group.
And they are making their way down to where the Central Courtyard is, where they'll be doing a more formal presentation. But on their way, they're actually scheduled to meet some of the students of UBC. Now, the University of British Columbia is a global center for research and teaching, one of only 2 Canadian institutions consistently ranked among the world's 40 best universities, with campuses in Vancouver and in Kelowna, which of course is in BC's Okanagan Valley. UBC has embraced innovation and challenged the status quo for more than 100 years. And there's a wonderful shot.
There's the Duke and Duchess, the Premier, the President, the Deputy Vice Chancellor.
Yes, they are walking towards the courtyard, and there they are just about to meet some of our students. We have the Student Union President, Mr. Blake Edwards.
Mr. Jeffrey Krupa is an undergraduate student in physics. Ms. Nishat Tasman is an international graduate student in biology.
Mr. Jeremiah Hislop is an Aboriginal undergrad in chemistry.
And finally, Ms. Carmen Chelik is an Aboriginal graduate student in biology. And this is the group of students who the Duke and Duchess are meeting with right now.
So they'll spend a little time conversing with them. It wasn't too long ago that the Duke and Duchess both attended university. As a matter of fact, they met at St. Andrews University. The Duchess of Cambridge graduated with a degree in History of Arts in 2005.
And the Duke himself earned a degree in Geography in 2005 from St. Andrews.
It was very important to the royal family that they spend time with students, and that is one of the significant reasons why they chose UBC's Okanagan campus. And it was a significant stop. I think this particular generation of royals are very well respected among young people, young adults, and as we can see with some of the crowds, there's very young people who have been waiting quite some time to get a great vantage point of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge.
And certainly given Prince William's interest in athletics and the Duchess's interest in athletics, it's no surprise that they'd want to be here, participating in the opportunity to be with students and subsequently to see our volleyball team play a little later this afternoon.
Yes, that's great. You can see the people peeking through the tree that is lining the pathway. Now, as it turns out, the Duke and Duchess will not be doing any formal speaking today.
Right.
They really wanted to spend time meeting the people. They're here to celebrate along with us as we commemorate our 100th anniversary of UBC, along with the 10th anniversary of UBC's Okanagan campus, which is actually very hard to believe. It's been 10 years.
10 long years, yes, that's right.
10 great years, I would go to.
No, considering how much we've accomplished in the past decade, it's quite remarkable that we have covered as much ground as
Indeed.
we have.
You know, UBC's Okanagan campus was purpose-built in Kelowna to meet the challenges of the 21st century. It's an intimate learning community known for its entrepreneurial spirit.
And of UBC's 60,000 students, 8,000 of them study and learn at the Okanagan campus, where all students enjoy face-to-face interaction with professors, smaller class sizes, and opportunities for direct involvement in the cutting-edge research projects which fuel UBC's commitment to driving socio-economic development and diversification in the interior region of British Columbia.
You know, life at UBC's Okanagan campus is shaped by its diverse learning community, Kelowna's thriving economy, and of course the natural beauty of the Okanagan Valley.
The Duke and Duchess certainly enjoying the opportunity to meet with students and others who are here today.
As mentioned before, UBC's Okanagan campus is a significant research facilities and presently home to about 600 research projects, which involve a large number of students that participate hands-on. Research funding year to date is $14.2 million. Now, that's an interesting fact, isn't it?
Estimated that the annual economic impact of our campus in the Valley is $1.5 billion.
As you can see, they're moving towards the center court where the official ceremony will be taking place, where they'll be dedicating an Aboriginal art installation that is commemorating the UBC centennial and the 10th anniversary of Okanagan campus. The dedication of the sculpture in the Central Courtyard is one of many opportunities that the Duke and Duchess will have to celebrate First Nations culture. There they are, making their way to the platform. They do look very relaxed and quite happy to be here.
Oh, indeed.
Of course, so does the Premier. Great picture opportunity. Now, the campus is located within the territory of the Okanagan Nation, whose spirit of stewardship is maintained in the UBC's dedication to sustainability and respect for the land.
And the university works closely with the Okanagan Nation Alliance, from education of Indigenous students, including tailored post-secondary supports, to Indigenous research and scholarship and cultural competency.
Royal Highnesses, distinguished platform party, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the University of British Columbia's Okanagan campus. a model of innovative and interdisciplinary program within the great UBC system. My name's Deborah Buzzard. I'm the Deputy Vice Chancellor and Principal of this wonderful campus, built in the 21st century, and committed to serving our communities, both local and global. Before I continue, I would like to respectfully acknowledge the Syilx Okanagan Nation and their peoples on whose territory we are gathered today. It is my immense pleasure to acknowledge our guests of honor and formally welcome to UBC their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Thank you so much for joining us for this incredible special occasion. I also want to welcome our other platform party guests, the Honourable Christy Clark, Premier of British Columbia and MLA for Kelowna West Side, Chief Jonathan Kruger of the Penticton Indian Band, and from UBC, Chancellor Lindsay Gordon, Board Chair Stuart Belkin, and President and Vice Chancellor Santa Ono. We also welcome members of the UBC Board of Governors, many elected officials, chiefs, Okanagan Nation elders, and other dignitaries representing communities within the Southern Interior region, as well as friends and supporters of UBC. You are all welcome to this wonderful event. This is an extraordinary day. Extraordinary to have the Duke and Duchess with us as we dedicate the wonderful sculpture to my left, commissioned by UBC and the Okanagan Nation to mark our university's centennial and the 10th anniversary of this campus. This wonderful piece reflects the unique bond between the university and the Syilx Okanagan people. It will stand as a permanent testament to our partnership with the Okanagan Nation. I would now like to invite Amber Cardenas, a member of the Okanagan Nation, to come forward and sing the Okanagan song. Would you all please stand?
Please be seated. Thank you, Amber, for that beautiful song. I only wish I could project as well as she does, but I need a microphone. And also thank you to the Okanagan Nations Alliance for welcoming us today for this ceremony on their lands. Your Royal Highnesses, it is such a pleasure to welcome you to Kelowna and to the University of British Columbia. I'm Lindsay Gordon, and I have the privilege of serving as the 18th Chancellor of UBC in its 101st year. And it is a tremendous honor to be here on behalf of the university to take part in this welcoming of their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. And also a particularly warm welcome to Prince George and Princess Charlotte, who we hope are enjoying their first visit to Canada. And we also hope this is the first of many more family visits. Now, as you may suspect from my mid-Atlantic accent, my connection to England is actually quite personal. I came to UBC from Great Britain as a university student many years ago, met my beautiful wife Liz, and the rest, as they say, is history. So it's a great personal pleasure for me to be here to welcome you on this wonderful occasion. There have been numerous firsts in this rapidly growing UBC campus since it first opened just over 10 years ago. But this inaugural visit by the members of the royal family will surely go down in the history books of the Okanagan, of UBC Okanagan, as a truly memorable first. I hasten to say, however, that this is not the first visit by members of the royal family to UBC. In 2002, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip visited the UBC campus as part of the Golden Jubilee celebrations commemorating the Queen's 50-year reign. And that actually marked the fourth visit to the university by the Queen, and we were delighted to learn that despite a lifetime of daily formalities, the Queen retained a great sense of humor. While attending a commemorative ceremony in what was to become the Irving K. Barber Learning Center, she listened intently as BC Premier Gordon Campbell described in some detail the plans for the center's new and modern library. She appeared quite intrigued as the Premier described how the highly sophisticated technology features of the library would enable students to electronically access an almost infinite amount of information from around the world. And at that very moment, Her Majesty leaned over to our then President, Dr. Martha Piper, and with a twinkle in her eye asked, "Will there be any books in this new library?" Well, we are thrilled to have the honor of welcoming the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge to our Okanagan campus. And speaking of Cambridge, I'm very pleased that there's another connection, because just yesterday it was announced that UBC's past Vice Chancellor and President, Professor Stephen Toope, has been nominated to be the next Vice Chancellor of Cambridge University. So, Your Royal Highnesses, on behalf of the University of British Columbia, please accept my sincere wishes for a wonderful and stimulating visit, and we do hope that this is the first of many visits to BC's beautiful Okanagan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lindsay. And now it's my pleasure to call upon Chief Jonathan Kruger of the Penticton Indian Band to welcome their Royal Highnesses to Okanagan Nation territory and to present a traditional gift. Chief Kruger.
Ai asglali pisnak seal, isqueezed and cross moon and lichum cantil simpington. Clacklahap, chachmalas, naxiel. Kin peels up ana, I'm happy right now. Ya taha itim kulauted, kinlim pichiap. This is our beautiful land, and I'm so happy that you're all here for a beautiful event. Welcome to the royal family, Your Highnesses. Quickly, please enjoy this beautiful land with your beautiful family and create beautiful memories on our lands here in British Columbia. And I want to leave you with a few words about reconciliation, and that's been the talk we've been talking about now. True reconciliation involves the honor of the Crown, the federal government, the provincial governments, and the Indigenous people in this land. True power is the spirit of is the human spirit. Please use that power to advocate for true reconciliation and advocate for the Indigenous people in this country, so we can be all great and good. White Limulum, enjoy your stay and enjoy the gifts that we given to you, Prince and Princess, and your beautiful family. White Limulum.
Thank you, Chief Kruger, and what a wonderful gift presentation. I'm now very pleased to call on our Premier, the Honourable Christy Clark, Premier of our province and MLA for Westside Kelowna, so she needs no introduction in her hometown.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Deborah. Thank you, Chief Kruger and the Okanagan Nation for welcoming us onto your traditional territory. And Your Royal Highnesses, we are so honored by your presence with us today at this beautiful home of UBC in the Okanagan, Kelowna, a place that we think is the most beautiful place anywhere in the world, our home. UBCO was established 10 years ago, and today we mark that anniversary. UBCO was created as part of a university that was established 100 years ago down in Vancouver. And over those 100 years, UBC has established itself as one of the premier research institutions anywhere in the world. It is our ambition to make UBC and UBCO nothing less than the best publicly funded universities anywhere, not just in Canada, but anywhere in North America. Areas like genomics, brain health, advanced materials, digital technologies, and so many more areas of research where Canadians, British Columbians, are making a mark to change the future of the world and the future of so many individual lives, improving the future for our children and grandchildren. And for our students here, UBCO combines an outstanding education with an incredible quality of life in summer and in winter. 60% of our grads from UBCO stay in the Okanagan, and I think if you look around, you can fully understand why that's the case. I'm very honored today to invite Their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, to join me and Lindsay Gordon, UBC Chancellor, in unveiling a plaque that marks the occasion of the 10th anniversary of this campus, the 10th anniversary of a campus that is part of a university that this year celebrates its 100th anniversary. Thank you so much, and welcome to Kelowna.
Thank you very much, Premier Clark. As an embodiment of the deepening trust and confidence that mark our relationships with the Okanagan Nation, we are going to unveil this magnificent sculpture by Les Lewis, an artist and educational support worker from the Lower Similkameen Indian Band. His work, to my left, is modeled after a long Tulimat lodge, portraying the frame of the traditional summer home of the Okanagan people. Les's sculpture will add to the visible Indigenous presence on our campus and serve as a daily reminder of our good fortune in being welcomed by the Okanagan Nation to their territory. So a huge thank you to Les Lewis for the gift of your talents and for creating this piece for UBC. And thank you once again to the Okanagan Nation for your warm welcome and for your investment in this work. It's through acts like this that our country moves towards real reconciliation with Indigenous peoples, offering us a promise of a better future together. It's now my honor to call upon Their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Premier Clark, and Chancellor Gordon to please come forward and to unveil a commemorative plaque dedicating Sinilitin, a word meaning home.
And there, Their Highnesses reveal the new plaque that commemorates the piece of art.
Ladies and gentlemen, this marks the close of our formal speaking program. I invite those of you present in the audience to please stay where you are and watch the next portion of the program on the LED screens. Thank you again for joining us on this momentous occasion. We could not have been more blessed with real Okanagan weather. To a mest.
And that marks the end of the formal ceremony here in Centre Court. We should add that artist Mr. Louis' description of the work, he notes that the piece is modeled after the Long Tulimat Lodge, as was mentioned, and it actually portrays the frame of traditional Okanagan summer lodge. Now, the Royals are moving into soon the location of the piece of art, and the art is to be experienced. You're actually to go into the art, to come under it, to experience the carvings and the representation of the Syilx people.
Certainly, along with the plaque that has just been revealed, there will be an artist statement as well. And the artist has stated that his hope is that students and visitors will be drawn to the artwork and interested in creating their own story as to what the symbols represent. Like the Long Tulimat Lodge, the students attending UBC Okanagan have begun a frame upon which to build their skills and enhance their journey in this life.
And there the Royals are meeting artist, Mr. Louis. And I'm sure he's explaining his inspiration for the piece. This is a permanent structure here.
And it truly is a magnificent piece. It stands out in our courtyard, and as the Deputy Vice Chancellor said, is an excellent reminder of our relationship, UBC's relationship with the Okanagan Alliance.
That's true. And I'm sure they're not going to rush this conversation. It's such a lovely piece of art. And it is, like I said earlier, it's a piece of art to be experienced.
Oh, it's very much an installation. You can walk through it, you can walk under it. And as I say, quite a fixture in our campus courtyard.
It actually was just put up about 2 weeks ago in preparation of
early
this
September,
event. That's
yes.
right. And I think it was as much of a piece of artwork for the foundations of this structure as well. I was watching it being installed, and it's very secured.
Yes. Given the size of it, they had to put considerable effort into building appropriate footings, and then the day it was installed, of course, they brought in a very large crane to move all the pieces into position.
We should mention that we did say that Grand Chief Stewart was going to be the representation from our Aboriginal community, and there must have been a change to our program, and it was Chief Kruger that made the welcome from the Okanagan Nation Alliance. So we welcome him.
And the Royals are now moving on towards the gymnasium, where they will be watching a volleyball game.
So we'll follow them as long as we can until they move out of the courtyard area. They are going to be meeting another group of students. These ones are some of our amazing athletes. We should mention that C has an awesome varsity athletic, group of athletic teams. They are known as the UBC Okanagan Heat and are gaining a reputation for excellence.
They are.
Last spring, in only their 5th season, competing at the Canadian University level, the Heat women's volleyball team, who we are going to be able to see in an exhibition game, and that's the game that, of course, the Royals will be viewing this afternoon, they earned a medal in their first trip to the CIS National Championships.
And the team's coach, Steve Manuel, was named CIS Coach of the Year for the 2nd time in 5 years. We have dedicated staff and excellent athletes here at UBC Okanagan.
And of course, we've got basketball, both men's and women's. We have a golf team. We have cross country. We have a wide variety of sports that we're really proving to be right up there, high up in the leagues. We're excited for where that is going.
And as Rosemary mentioned, the Royal Highnesses will be meeting a number of our student athletes before they enter into the gym.
You can see the students are warming up their clackers for a very, very loud welcome, I'm sure, when the Royals make their way into, there we have them.
They're just heading towards the gymnasium now.
That's right. Lots of cheering fans along the way.
Indeed.
As we mentioned, there was as you can see, there's a barrier between them, and
this camera doesn't have an audio feed. Every time you switch to it, it drops out.
back to the game.
I just heard
Sneak peek there.
and then it cut out randomly. When they swap. Why aren't you showing the speeds? That's my question.
And there the Royals are having a conversation with the principal of UBC's Okanagan campus, and they are meeting up with, of course, Coach Manuel. We're greeting them, and we'll be escorting them into the gymnasium, and it won't be long before we hear an extremely loud clatter I'm sure, once they spot them around the corner. There we go.
Yep.
And 5'9", 5'11", including the heels, please welcome the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge.
Michael Lee will be the commentator for the official game. So we will turn it over to him in just a moment or two.
The Duke is more than pleased to meet with the students who are surrounding him in the stadium seats.
And they have front row
They do indeed.
seats for the game.
Now, I wonder if any of them started camping out at 3:45 to get those seats.
Well, no, but they were online at 6 o'clock one morning when they actually put the tickets online and made them available to the students. But it was first come, first serve,
Right.
and they did sell out. And when I say sell, they weren't for sale,
No.
but they were available.
It was a lottery.
It was a lottery in that sense.
And sitting with the royal couple there in the front row, we have our President, Santa Ono, to the left. And our Chancellor, Lindsay Gordon, our Deputy Vice Chancellor here at the Okanagan campus, Deborah Buzzard.
And, of course, Coach Manuel. Well, it looks like the exhibition game is about to start.
Blue team number 6, Megan Festival.
So as the game continues, we should mention before they actually arrived into the gym, they had the opportunity to meet 6 of our student volleyball players, 6 of our varsity athletes, 2 of which came from the men and women's volleyball team. And there was Katie Klomps, Mitch Goodwin from men's basketball, an undergraduate of human kinetics,
Lars Bornman, who's a men's volleyball player, undergraduate in applied science.
Olivia Johnson was on hand from the women's basketball team, who's an undergraduate of the Faculty of Management.
Cale Warner is a men's cross-country athlete. He's an undergraduate in our applied science program.
Yeah, and there was Amarit Sandhu, who was hidden behind the Scorch mascot. He's an undergraduate of arts. We will see him a little bit further in the game. We should mention that both the Duchess of Cambridge and the Duke of Cambridge are quite athletic themselves.
Certainly Prince William has played polo, which he does for charitable causes. He's a fan of football and supports Aston Villa.
I've got to point that out because I have fans of Aston Villa watching today and are thrilled that he's such an avid fan.
He's also the president, or became the president, of England's Football Association in May of 2006 and vice-royal patron of the Welsh Rugby Union as of February 2007. Quite invested in athletics, obviously.
Yes, he is. Her Royal Highness has quite an athletic background as well, including field hockey. And I saw a picture of her online at quite a young age. So she obviously started that sport early on in her childhood. She does cross-country running, swimming. She's a tennis player and has even participated in cross-channel rowing. So you can see why it was important for them to get an opportunity to see a bit of athletics to show off, of course, the students here at UBC's Okanagan campus.
And there's no doubt that our women's volleyball team do us proud, given their successes over the past few years. An excellent showcase of athletics on our campus.
As mentioned earlier, in their 5th season competing at the Canadian University level, the Heat's women's volleyball team earned, I believe it was a bronze medal in their first trip to the CIS National Championship. And team's coach, Steve Manuel, was named CIS Coach of the Year for the 2nd time in 5 years. That's a very high accomplishment.
Indeed. Coach Manuel is sharing some of the finer points of the game with President Santa Oro and the Duke.
I'm sure he's boasting about this amazing team.
And he has every right to do so.
So the game is going to be suspended just for a few moments as the students make a presentation to the Duke and Duchess. Three very, very fortunate volleyball students are going to get to speak to the Duke and Duchess directly. They're captains of the team. We've got Megan Festival, an undergrad in management. And there they're being presented with official jerseys that state Cambridge.
Cambridge, the family name.
The family name, UBC Okanagan Heat, and of course 16 to represent 2016.
Or at the very least, the Duchy's name, if not the family name.
Right. And there's a little gift for the prince and princess.
Okanagan Heat teddy bears.
We also have Caitlin Given, who's an undergraduate of the arts, one of the captains, and Emily Oxlin, who's an undergraduate in the area of human kinetics. I think some of those girls are taller than he is.
I think he was just remarking upon that.
Indeed. What a lovely smile the Duchess has.
I've had the opportunity to meet the women's volleyball team several times. And in addition to being dedicated athletes, they're also top students. Very, very high performers at our university.
Yes. I should mention that the Duchess's hobbies include recreational sports such as hill walking, sailing, and she enjoys photography and painting. They seem to be very, very engaged with talking to the students. They're not taking this opportunity lightly.
Not at all. I think it's the basic truth of what the younger royals have set out to do, that they do want to engage with younger people in Canada and the other nations that they visit in an effort to remind us all of the relevance of the institution, the monarchy.
And the value that they present to Canadians. And she's quite charming. I had the opportunity of having a brief conversation with Princess Diana back in 1986 when she visited the Lower Mainland. And she was ever so charming, beautiful, and it was very exciting to have the opportunity to meet with her. And I can only imagine how these young girls are feeling at this moment.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
That is indeed true. Of course, the Duke of Cambridge spends a lot of time working for the East
Anglian Air Ambulance Service as a helicopter pilot.
Completing a period of training involving aircraft training. Oh, there we go.
And it would seem that the party is now getting ready to depart from the gym. And that, of course, we're getting close to signaling the end of the royal visit to UBC's Okanagan campus.
And as the royal couple bids farewell to our UBC students and carries on with the rest of their Kelowna tour, I want to thank you, Robert, for joining us today. It was a pleasure sharing this event with you. Our webcast will be available for future viewing at UBC's Okanagan YouTube channel, on Ustream, and locally on Shaw TV. Again, they're making time to speak to the students.
The royal couple more than happy to engage with our students.
And at that note, they're exiting. So for more information about UBC's Okanagan campus, visit ubc.ca. And thanks for watching.